Starline TV. Power to transform lives.
My darling, we are celebrating an exceptional mother. A mother who do not have biological children, but have raised children. She's there during their marriages. She's there during their graduations. She's there in their lives to find out what they are doing. She knows about their children. She's raised children and she's raising grandchildren. If you are listening to me as a teacher, it's not late. I have teachers who have been good to me. Those ones, I call them angels. And there's one I celebrated in Zion College recently. There's one I've been looking for. If you are listening to me and you know this woman, she was in Accra Technical University. She was the patron of our scripture union. A woman that just called me into her house and said the Lord had given her a word for me. I just said to myself, I wasn't going to write my exams. I was going to defer it. Started giving me prophecies. What was the problem? I said my problem was the whole show. Every subject was a subject of concern. This woman looked for teachers, extra teachers for me, paid them herself. Each teacher in law, teacher in office practice, teacher in accounting, each one of them. Now that God has blessed me, that I want to return the kindness, I just can't find her. Wherever I fish her out, she was in Accra Technical University, then Accra Poly. The year range was between 84 to 86, 84 to 86, or 83 to 85. That's when she was there. She was an English teacher in the business department. I think she taught the secretariat students English. She wasn't my teacher, but she was a patron of our scripture union. She gave me this word and said, God said I shouldn't defer my course. Then I had never heard one-on-one prophecy before, that God said if I delayed, it will delay his plan for my life. Spoke about my marriage and everything, and then got me teachers to teach me, paid. And after each examination, this woman, she was an angel, would come at the door of the examination hall and ask me how it went. And I would always tell her it was difficult. And she would tell me, don't worry, we are praying about it. Everything will be fine. On the day I was going to check my results, she was there. And even before I had checked my results, she had already gone to check my results, met me at Accra Technical University Court, screaming, we made it. She didn't even say you made it. She said we made it. She was part of my life. But at the time she had a son, the husband was in the States. I believe that right after my examination, I believe God took her to Accra Technical University for me. After my examination and I left, I'm sure she also left and joined her husband. She and the one I met in Zion College after St. Mary's. Unfortunately, I can't sit here and lie. There's no teacher I can call. Now there's no teacher I can call and share my issues and talk about my children. But today we are here celebrating a house mistress. She's now a headmistress, but we are celebrating a house mistress who was a mother and is still a mother in the lives of these ones. My darling, how have you been able to keep your relationship with this mother? How many years ago, mother? You've kept your relationship with her. How have you been able?
So for me, like Sophia and Aurelia has said, Auntie Rosalind really goes the extra mile.
Wow.
Yes, she really goes the extra mile. If you do not call, Auntie Rosalind will call.
Wow.
She will call, find out about you, your children, your parents, your school system.
And it's not like she's on pension. She's
No.
not doing anything. She's sitting down behind the phone and
No.
decides, who do I call today?
No.
She's still a headmistress.
Yes, Auntie Rosalind goes the extra mile. If you do not call, she will call you. She will call you. She sends you things to read about God.
Wow.
Preaching. Yes.
Even checking on your marriages.
Yes. Auntie Rosalind.
Now tell me, how did you come together? Do you have something to say before we move on?
Okay, so for me, we lost contact
Okay.
for some time, but we actually reunited in one of your birthday
Wow.
celebrations. And the interesting thing is, the first day we met, she started like it was the last day of school.
Wow.
She asked about every single thing that I had done after school. She checked up, and after that, it's been like she didn't act like we haven't spoken in some time. She asked about everything, my plans for the future, and I think it tells on how she has
I'm
been
sure I'll
able
see
to.
her in your wedding.
Amen.
No.
She'll be there.
Yes,
She'll be
yes.
there.
No doubt.
She'll be there. I think that tells on how she has been able to keep the relationship with the rest of my sisters. Because for me, we haven't spoken in a while, but the first day we met, we just picked it up from there. And if for someone that she hasn't spoken with in a while, she can do that, what about the people that she's been constantly talking
Auntie
to?
Rosalind, I think you need to open a school. A
Agreed.
school to teach teachers, house mistresses, house headmistresses, house masters. Because for us, all we got was insults, curses, the fact that we'll be useless, the fact that we'll be a disgrace to our schools. I mean, how have you been able to do it before we even come to your party and other things?
I think this is God given, and then you brighten the corner wherever you find yourself. Accept and develop love for what you do.
Okay.
I took them as my own. So that's how come that relationship got built up. I took them as my own. I don't see my students as other people's children.
Wow.
Currently, I tell my students, if you wear the green and white, you are mine.
I like that. You are mine.
Yes.
I like that.
So you cannot just misbehave.
You are mine.
Yes, I tell them.
What teacher could say I was his or I was hers?
I tell them.
Not one. They insulted me, called me hopeless. You see, but I always believe that any child that is naughty because there's a reason. There's a story behind it. Nobody cared to find out why I was naughty in school. What they didn't know was that my father had had an accident, our home was scattered, we had moved from grace to grass. I came to school with a heavy heart. Nobody cared to ask me what I went through or what I was going through. I'd wake up crying and nobody, I mean, anybody who wore what? Green and
White.
was yours.
Yes, I have told them. So if
I
I meet
like
you
that.
in town, I'll match you, walk in front of my vehicle. I'll match you to the school.
Yes, Odokono, we're wearing green and white. From today, I am yours.
Wow.
Yes. So I always see them as my children.
Wow.
And I remember when you said your teacher would always encourage you to go and write a paper.
That's right.
I had one of them. She was so feeble, and her classmates noticed that she was that type. They could frighten her, and she would come. So I can't write the paper. I say, hey, you write. Then she lost one of her teeth, and then they said, this is a bad omen. This one, when she keeps, she was fasting. This one, it will not work. You will go and write the paper. Go, you can make it. So every paper that she has to write, she will come to my house. I will encourage her to pray before she will go.
Wow.
And now she has a master's.
Wow.
She has a master's.
Do you have any daughter, any student who was very naughty, but you were able to turn their lives around?
Yes, some of them were very naughty. But at the end of the day, they changed.
Wow.
It's only one particular person. She was to the extreme. You turn her this way, she will turn this way. And it reflected in her results.
Okay.
I will try to bring her.
But I'm sure now something.
She's turned out, but that one too was her mom who was influencing her because of broken home.
Okay.
But apart from that, those who had they were coming from good homes. The slightest thing, you talk to them about it, and sometimes I invite the parents.
Okay.
Actually, I'll tell you, this girl, I wanted to get 8 A's. You are booking her for 8 A's. So when she comes to get her teachers, not a teacher, go for extra, I could get them teachers.
Wow.
For the parents to pay. Sometimes I'll book them to your school.
Okay.
St. Mary's, sometimes Legon Pesek.
Okay.
Of my colleagues there, I'll just hook them and then they would assist them. Sometimes they go to Accra. I've had the occasions of paying students school fees.
Wow.
Because maybe the parents couldn't afford. Last minute, they're going to write their final exams, the school fees have not been paid.
Let me give a shout to Miss Benedicta Nuchuga, St. Mary's Secondary School. She teaches English and she's a house mistress. Miss Benedicta Nuchuga. Miss Benedicta Nuchuga was actually my mate in St. Mary's Secondary School. Currently an English teacher and a house mistress. Every now and then, Miss Nuchuga will bring me some of her daughters.
Okay.
Some of her daughters who passed through her hands and are in the university now and can pay school fees. She'll bring them to me for me to pay their school fees. She'll come and say, oh, Mama Rita, I wish I had enough money to pay their school fees. I can't. So this one, the father is dead. This one, the father is abusing her. This one, this. And this is what teacherhood is supposed to be like. So Miss Benedicta Nuchuga, God bless you for all these children you oversee. And even in the university, every now and then you check up on them, pay their school fees, and the ones that are beyond you, you bring them to me for me to pay their school fees. I believe that tomorrow you'll be the one sitting in the seat of mommy. Some people calling her auntie, others calling her
Auntie
mama, others calling her Miss Sowa. I believe that tomorrow you'll be the one sitting in her chair, and other former students of St. Mary's Secondary School will be giving testimonies about you. Please let your questions flow. Let your recommendations flow. If there's any teacher that did anything special for you whilst you were in school and that teacher still has a good relationship with you, please bring us her name or his name. We will give her or him a shout on Powerline TV and let them know what they are doing. To all the teachers out there who are doing a good job, Mother Ghana says thank you. And all the students that pass through your hands are saying a big thank you to you. And to the teachers who have not done your best, it is not late. There's always a second chance. Please mend your ways. Children you are teaching will remember you. Now let's come to you. Why did you decide to celebrate her on her 50th? Students, they are having issues in their marriage. Clap! I haven't seen her kind before. Leadership. This is a mother. This is a mother. So, how did you come together to celebrate her?
Okay, so
And why not the other teachers?
okay, so Miss Soa, because of course Miss Soa is special to us. That's why we are all seated here today.
Wow.
How did we put the group together? So there was one Ghanaian. Yes, I think she completed in 2006. Yes, Ghanaian created a group.
Wow.
So she put me in charge of my year group.
Okay.
I got others. So I'll say I am the closest to Miss Soa in my year group.
Okay.
Yes, I'm the closest to her. So I got my other sisters in my year group, and people even maybe in 2008
Wow.
who were also close to Miss Soa. We all came together on a page.
Okay.
It's just, of course, it's her 50th birthday.
Okay.
50 is such a significant
Wow.
age in someone's life, and of course, we hadn't done anything big for her, so we wanted to celebrate her,
Wow.
celebrate her for all that she's done for us. So
Wow.
yes, we just decided to throw her a big party.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, if you are watching us and you are from Infantsman Girls, or Infantsman SHS, or a former student, your old students, how do you call? Moga.
Yes.
You are a Moga, and you have something to say about Miss Soa. Please write it, and we will make sure we read it. Wow. So, who was on the floor?
Yes. So similarly, I think, was it Sophia? Was it you who put me on? But someone, either must be Elsie or Ganiat. Elsie Gonzalez, she is also in the States.
Wow.
Yeah, so they put me on and then updated us that Miss OS 50th is coming up and this is the plan. And I thought, hey, why not?
Wow.
So we just jumped in. What the girls did was that there were, I'd say about a couple of them who were the key organizers.
Okay.
There were some of the girls who were involved in some did publicity things,
Okay.
some did advertising things. So,
Wow.
and those that we couldn't get, we outsourced. So
Wow.
some people were in charge of the catering, some in charge of the decor, etc., etc. Some of us were silent members,
Wow.
right? But it was a no pressure contribution, right? So we
Wow.
thought these are the things we want to do. This is how much it's going to cost us, right? So give as you are able. Some gave in cash, some gave in kind. Exactly.
Wow.
So 99% of the vendors were from the group.
Yeah.
99% of the vendors.
Yeah.
From the group. So we went to see the venue, and we got a caterer from the group,
Wow.
an event organizer from the group,
Wow.
Decor.
decor from the
Yeah.
group, cake,
Wow.
everything from the group. So the 1% I don't even know where it came from, but 99.
Photography, the music.
Yeah.
No,
Photography was
Photography was
yes.
one of I was there.
Yes.
Yes.
Photography
I
was
saw one of
us.
the girls taking
Yes,
the pictures.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
remember I was sick before
That's
the
right.
birthday. So she brought all her to do the
Photo shoot.
the photo shoot in my house.
Wow. And how did you get your husbands on board? Because I saw some of the husbands.
So naturally, she gets involved in my life.
Like
so
so.
therefore,
Yes.
just like I was talking about last night, she came with her husband to my
Wow.
house. So it's like one big family.
Yeah.
We are all connected.
And I saw your parents there.
Yes,
Yes.
my mom and dad was there because I had my baby, so I couldn't
She
make
couldn't
it.
make it.
You were in the States at the time, but
Yes.
saw your
My
mom, I
mom
saw
and-
your dad.
Yes. Everybody in my house knows Auntie.
Seriously.
Aunties, everybody.
Wow. Everybody, your family.
Everybody knows Auntie Roslyn.
Knows your number
Everybody
2
knows
mom.
She's my mom. My mom knows she's my mom.
That's right.
Yes.
Wow. Is there anything you'd want to say to Auntie Roslyn, to any teacher anywhere, to your mates that haven't come on board? This year she's 51. So those who didn't send her present, I'm collecting it through family life. I'm sure there are some people you couldn't contact, but they'll be listening to us. If there's anything you want to say to Auntie Roslyn, or thank her, some of the things I'm sure she's forgotten, you want to remind her. And we are also telling the other teachers to wake up and do something. If everybody, every teacher is picking one child from school, I don't think that we'll get dropouts. Because there were some people that she handled that were shalai, but she encouraged them. When we say shalai, it means a dense student, somebody who is not intelligent.
In other words, academics is not helping you.
But some way, somehow, she was able to work it out, encourage them, and today they have their masters. I believe that if I had teachers encouraging me, I would have been miles away from where I am today. Whew. Whoever wants to speak first.
So to Auntie Roslyn, I would say thank you very much. Because you're a huge part of my success story. My career trajectory perhaps would not take the shape it has if it wasn't for you. Because the last thing I heard when I moved from the science class to the home economics class was, wow. And perhaps for a lot of teachers, that's what they don't realize, that students look up to them in such a way that you don't even comprehend. My 4-year-old, when she brings homework home and she didn't even copy it well and I'm correcting her, she says, no, this is what my teacher said.
Wow.
Of all my degrees, my daughter will tell me this is what my kindergarten teacher said.
My son will tell me, my teacher says I should bring wache to school.
And that is what they'll demand. That is just the amount of power that teachers hold. And so for them to realize, like Auntie Roslyn did, that we are more than, as human beings, as students, we are more than A's. We are more than our academics. Unfortunately, I'm a lecturer, but I always say this, that our educational system is...
So I believe God is speaking to you as a lecturer.
Amen.
God is giving you a prophecy through your mom here. That every child, every student that passes through your hands, whether they are difficult, whether they are not doing well, whatever it is, you can turn their lives around. Don't break what you are saying.
Okay.
There's a lady I met in this university in America. It's an Ivy Lakes University in New York. Until is this university?
NYU.
No, Cornell University. Right. I won't mention the school because of what I'm about to say. She went up to one of these so-called preparatory schools. Was there from kindergarten to upper 6 where she wrote common entrance. When she got to class 5, and she was repeated in the school about 3 times because the teacher said she wasn't intelligent enough. When she got to class 5, they were sacking her from the school because according to the school, she will bring disgrace.
Oh dear.
Those then common entrance, we wrote common entrance, now BCE. So the father went to the school and said, if my child is shalai, if my child is not intelligent, my child is not intelligent because of the school. because my child has never known any school except this school. If she's been in this school since nursery and you couldn't turn her academics around, I am not withdrawing my child from this school. She said, I'm not withdrawing my child. She will be in this school. Write the common entrance in this school. Insisted, so they couldn't sack the child. Eventually, guess what? She made it to Achimota school.
Praise God.
Made it to Achimota school. Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4, Form 5. After Form 5, moved to St. Mary's Secondary School, lower 6, upper 6. Moved to University of Ghana. As I speak now, the one who was repeated 3 times in her primary school now has PhD. Wow. My darling, if you're a parent listening to me, there's no child that is not intelligent.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no child. There's no child who is not university material and has to be at the Palm Secondary. These days, there's nothing like Adepam. Adepam is, in those days, if you are not doing well, they'll tell you, go and learn trade.
Now there are university courses offering that as
exactly.
well.
Forget about even university courses. The one who does my makeup, please, today I did my own makeup every day. When I'm coming here, I do my own makeup. It's when I have big events. She has masters from University of Ghana. The one who sews for me studied outside the country. Renee did French, University of Ghana. So there's nothing like if you are not intelligent, then you must go into catering, you must go into fitting mechanic, you must go into, I'm telling you, every child is intelligent depending on how well you turn their lives. Every day tell them they are intelligent. Every day tell them they will do well. Every day tell them you love them. Every day tell them you have confidence in them. Every day. If there's a child in your class who is not doing well, my darling, a little bit of encouragement from you will turn their lives around. And it doesn't matter how far they go. I can remember my kindergarten teacher. I can remember my class 1 teacher. I can remember my class 2, my class 3. Every teacher and what they did to me, I can remember it. So don't ever think that that child is too young and you can beat her up and tell her she's useless and tell her she would amount to nothing and tell her she'll be a disgrace to the school. Tomorrow, she'll be president and she will never remember you. He will never remember you because of that little thing you did to her. And what you do not know, like what they are saying, whilst we are in school, I mean, our teachers for us are like our gods. We believe them for everything they say to us, both negatively and positively. So whether you're a teacher, whether you're a parent, begin to say positive things about your child. And I pray that we'll be able to raise Miss Roslyn Sowers. And I pray that a government will come up and remember this woman for what she did for Mother Ghana. I pick her out of the lot, and I salute her. And I say, God bless you. Today, look at you. You've raised PhD holders. You raised stammers who should have been. You raised them to be school prefects. Look at the people who you have raised. And I believe that there are thousands of people who are listening to us and are sending messages. Please send us your messages and we will read it here. If there is any teacher who maltreated you, don't write their name, but let us know what they did to you. Please go ahead. Who was on the floor, please?
Yeah, Mommy, I was saying that if only teachers would realize just how much power and influence, I think the word is influence, they hold over children. And the fact that students are more than their grades. I remember in Fancyman, my class, there were there were some people, it's not that they weren't studying, they were studying.
They were studying.
They just couldn't retain it. Our educational system is set up in such a way that the person who can climb the tallest tree is the best student. The snake, the elephant, they are all worthy animals.
Like
but
that.
if we are asked, these animals are asked to climb the trees, the monkey that will climb
That's
up first.
right.
And an elephant cannot climb up it.
That's right.
It doesn't mean that the elephant is a less worthy,
Yeah.
animal,
Yeah.
right, in the kingdom. If educators will realize this and then nurture the potential and the talent that is in each and every one of us, then we'll have a well-rounded community. We don't need a community full of PhD holders. We
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
God called some to be apostles, some
Yeah.
to be evangelists, ministers,
Preach.
etc.
BMCs.
Amen. Right? So if we will not just focus, the A's are important. I'm not saying they're not important.
Yeah.
But we need to see the value of the people that
Yeah.
have been put
Yeah.
under our care.
Yeah.
Such was what Ms. Soa did for me and for us. And so thank you.
I want to ask, did she influence your decision and interest to go into teaching? Did she?
I will say partly, and here's why. When I was finishing my undergraduate at University of Ghana, my plan was to go to law school, but that didn't quite happen. I'm not sure why. But then with further conversation, I told her I was planning on applying for a master's. It won't record what will you do? Because it was a master's in cultural studies. Really, what will you do with a master's in business administration, FOCRA, in Ghana, So what am I going to do with a master's in that? And I said, well, the end goal is to go into teaching. But my patience is such that, I can't teach the secondary school people. I want to teach the adults, right? So on a more serious note, so that was the kinds of conversation that we had back then, and we really still do. I was sharing previously that every now and then when we meet, there's always some form of, okay, where's the career going?
Developmental plan.
Exactly. So in that area, that is how she has been. Yeah, thank you.
So far, oh,
Your question was that
Oh no.
No, what, if you had any message for her,
yes.
Oh, right.
others
Yes,
who would
yes,
have
yes,
to connect
yes,
her.
yes, that. So for me, we've said a lot of nice things, but I like one thing about Miss Soa. In spite of when we were in school, of course, we have the house mistresses and the students who used to say very negative things about Miss Soa, even to us, her school daughters, and maybe some who were bold to her directly. But I thank Miss Soa that Miss Soa was like, she was firm and confident in what she was doing for us. For that reason, I really say thank you that you didn't let the negative things that people said about you get to you for you to be bitter and not nice to us. Yes, I really thank you for that. And I know they are all seeing you now and then.
Mommy, I have a question for Miss Soa.
Yeah.
Were there times you felt very hurt by other students or their parents that made you question the things you were doing?
I never questioned the things I was doing, but sometimes students who were naughty and would not want to be put on the right path always find fault with me. You cannot just leave the house to the compound with no belt, chaliwati, uncombed hair. No, it's not possible. You would have to go back and dress properly. And so when they see me sitting in front of my house, oh, my meeting, I won't even say a word. They will go back and will not pass there. My hair is overgrown. They won't want to cross me anywhere. So for those people, they see me as being mean and very difficult. Even to my own colleagues, some were against me. I don't know whether it was out of jealousy or envy, but I see it as we have individual differences.
yeah.
Someone does something that you think what she's doing is drawing people closer to her. You don't know how she's doing it. You could find out, or just emulate the way she's treating her children or her house. Because at the end of the day, Butler House was a judge, Wesley Girls and Infants, man.
Wow.
Siesta is compulsory. When other people are making noise, you will come and sleep.
Wow.
If you are late, you meet me at the gate.
Wow.
Lights out. You have to sleep. Keep quiet and sleep.
Wow.
When it's supper time, you go with your plate. You don't come back after supper. Even the house prophet, you don't have that right to come back and stay inside. You were brought here to come and learn, and not to be house prophet. Yes, it's part of training.
Yeah.
But you should know why you were brought to the school. So I will not encourage that. And so we stood out loud in the school that, hey, Afobala House, there, you don't go there. When I left Butler House to Yeboah House, that one, when they see any V8, they say, hey, say, come so well. Maybe I don't know. But I was so much interested in my students. I don't see them as students. I see them as my children. I monitor everything that they do. The courses they even do in university. There was a student who was coming from the north. The parents didn't know so much about education. I took it up. I had protocol at TCC for her. Ensured that she was there and everything was moving on smoothly with her. In fact, I just didn't end it when they completed Infantsman. First year. Yes, I'll give them some tutorials that when you go to first year, this is the pressure you're going to meet. You meet people, they won't sweep their rooms. For my dormitories and my verandas, every morning we scrub. You lay your bed. If you don't, it's trouble for you. Because those who didn't want to be trained, they see me as something else.
Mesoa, we are talking about what you did in Infanseman. Today, if I call people from all the schools you have been, Mando, Odobing, Asin, Insuta, Bisiase, hey, their names so. Bese Ase Cola and that Cola.
Yes.
Bese Ase. Would we get children you have raised, daughters and sons you have raised, or Infanseman was a special school, so you cared about Infanseman, but there are people from these should I say underprivileged schools that will have things to say about you?
Yes. Yes. In Besiase, there was this boy who was a needy student. At that time, it was fee paying.
Okay.
He would go and do Wala and come and pay the school fees.
Wow.
So I picked him. He's now in level 300.
Wow.
Legon. Sometimes I do support him with food.
Now,
yes.
Now that he's a Legon.
Yes. He's coming from a village.
Wow.
He wants to be someone in future, and I admire that.
Wow.
So I pay, mommy, my school fees. Then I'll pay part. Wow. He will also go and work and then top up. Wow. When I went to Insuta, I had some boys that I'm still in touch with them.
Wow.
When my house flooded in April.
Okay.
One of them came to help me clean up the place.
Wow. In Accra?
In Accra. I moved from Insuta to Odobin. Even teachers. Even teachers.
Wow.
When my house flooded the second time, a teacher from Odobin came to help me clean up.
Wow.
It's not just because it's Infantsman, but that's my nature.
Wow.
So wherever, when I lost my daddy, I went to Besiase in 2017. I lost my daddy. A full load of bus, 67 teachers came to my funeral.
67
teachers, they came from Besiase. I had already left the place.
Wow. I think you're an angel.
It's just by God's grace that
One day, we'll make you a saint. Your kind is very rare.
Very exceptional.
Wow. So every school you went to, you raised a son, or you raised a daughter, or you raised sons and you raised daughters.
Oh, I forgot one thing. My current school.
Don't forget your current school.
Yes, it's plenty. There was this student in Form 3. She was pregnant. Wow. I just met her, and looking at her appearance, I realized that she wasn't too well. She was malnourished, and so I took her to my office, questioned her, and then I started buying her some drugs to go to antenatal.
Pregnant?
Ah, yes.
St. Mary's. Pregnant.
Right now, government.
You won't write your exam.
Oh. So I assist her in everything.
Bought her medication.
Yes, food. Even food for her to eat was a problem at home. So I ensured that she has some rice, gari, sugar, milk.
You didn't sack her.
No. By policy, she's supposed to be in school, but like the other human face, that one day, it's a personal. I'll do everything. And when she delivered, the parents came. Mosia, let me speak to you.
Please do.
Mosia, never ban ishana in Boyan, Yoko Hospital, Yabato Drew, Yabaya, Yabaya,
Ah.
the child is a boy. I said, oh, you
Wow.
what's on your shade? Of a foul sending.
Wow.
Yes.
So for the international viewers, basically what she said was the way she's taking very good care of their daughter for delivery, food, everything. They had
Their
decided
daughter who was a student.
who was a student and had gotten pregnant whilst in secondary school. Rather than drive her off as others may do, she decided to keep her in and nurture her to deliver. And they decided to name the child after her. Amazing.
As a boy.
And a boy as well. Hey, anyway, what to say?
Wow.
The boy is a sower.
Oh.
So the same name.
It's great. It's great.
So far you wanted to say something to your mommy.
Yes, my mommy.
God must give me a mommy too.
You are still a mommy. So, mommy, I thank you so much for all you do. You've been amazing. All these things she's saying it's not just to one person. She does it to all of us. She's so generous. Up till now, when she's coming from school, she brings me food.
Wow.
She brings us plantain. When I got to Ghana, first week, a whole sack of baby food. Soya bean, Tom Brown, millet.
Wow.
A whole sack bag, and I'm still using it. I've been in Ghana for a while. I'm still using it. She sends my parents food when I'm not around.
Wow.
She's a woman with a kind heart. Wow. She has a big heart, and I want to say thank you for all you do. You know, I love you so much.
Wow.
And I pray that God will take you from one grace to the other, to another, from one grace to another grace. May God bless you. May God increase you. And we just want you to know that this is just the beginning. We are planning for the 6th year.
Hey! Please get me involved.
Once mommy is involved, we
We are done.
So yes, we really appreciate you. We value and cherish you so much.
Thank
And
you.
you know the love is deep.
Very.
Wow. Victoria.
Okay, I want to say thank you to Miss Soa, because for me, one of the things that I realized in school was that she wasn't my house mistress, so there was every reason not to care about me the way she cared about you. My dad actually put me in charge of my house mistress, but she didn't mind me. So he had to keep visiting and worrying about me because my first year was a bit rough. But once he put me in Miss OS care, he wasn't bothered at all. He was very, very fine. And from then till final year, he didn't even come and visit again. If I need anything, he would say, "Oh, Miss Owa is there," and that
Wow.
tells on the character that she has. Another thing that she did that built my confidence was I was the president of one of the choirs in the school, but I never sing. I just do all I have to do, but I'll never sing. So there was one of the days, carol service, where everyone in the group said I should sing. I'm like, oh, you know me, I'll conduct and things, but everyone said I should sing. I was like, okay, I'll try. And then when I took the microphone, Miss Owa stood the whole ministration.
Wow.
I hadn't even started singing, and she stood and she was raising her hand. I was like, what is this woman doing? But it was just to show the amount of support and the love that she had for me. And I now feel very comfortable knowing that all the things that she has done for you, as the last baby, I'll get like 3 times. So I'm very, very okay. Miss Owa, thank you so much, and God richly bless you. And I know that God reunited us because He knows that I still need a mother like you in my life. God bless you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Miss Owa, go ahead.
I think we should say a big thank you to our daddy. He's been very supportive too. Anytime mommy is coming, daddy is there. So
Wow.
wherever you are, daddy, we say God bless you. And may you continue with a good work. We really appreciate you.
Mommy, I have another question for Miss Owa, because I've been thinking through. In 2001, when you were posted to Infantima, I'm sure you had just started the teaching process.
No, I had taught for 4 years.
4 years. Okay.
After training.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we I mean, teachers are on strike, calling for COLA, etc. And we understand what it means to be a teacher, the level of income you are generating. How were you able to manage around with so many other children?
Cooking for them.
Cooking for them,
Paying their medical fee.
Tilapia. Hey.
With your mega salary.
Yeah.
God multiplied 5 fishes.
Amen.
Right? So He makes a way. He always does. He makes a way for me. Maybe sometimes if I don't have, maybe someone will bring me something and I wouldn't want to hide it. I would want to share. So someone brings you a bag of rice. Oh, I'll cook for them to eat. Cook.
It always comes back multiplied.
Yes. So I do.
Hey, honestly, I feel like being a teacher, starting all over and raising daughters. But Miss Owa is teaching us a lot that wherever you find yourself, it doesn't matter where you are, a mother, you have children, you have stepchildren, please treat them well. You have house helps, you have house boys, please treat them well. You have security men, you have gardeners. Something funny happened. There's a guy I raised. The school he went to, the JHS he went to, he was very intelligent. His parents were very poor, so the JHS teachers came together, bought him his trunk, his chobos, groceries for school. And then he went. They paid his fees, Form 1. Now he got to Form 2, just like we are saying. The salaries of teachers, very meager. Was my English correct?
Mega.
So they couldn't pay their school fees. And head of Royal House Chapel scholarship project. So they brought him to me. We took over from Form 2, Pope John's. So when he entered into university, I felt, apart from the school fees and the groceries I was giving to him, I needed to help him further. So what I did was, I will make him come and teach my daughter, my last daughter, so that, you know, I could pay him. And the rule in my house is that anybody that comes to my house must be fed. But sometimes people forget when they are in a certain position. So people will come into my house and they won't feed them. So this guy, you can imagine, coming from a very poor background, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes he will come to my house very hungry. So one day, I think he was in second year, and I said, be careful the way you treat this guy. One day, this guy might be a medical doctor. You will see him and be ashamed. Guess what? He moves to third year, moves to fourth year, enters into medical school.
Wow.
And you know Ghana Medical School, I'm sorry if I have to say this, you have to go to an interview. And when you go for the interview, they want to find out, is your father a medical doctor?
Sure.
If he's a medical doctor, they want to know his debiality, his ranking. If your father is not a medical doctor, then your mom must be a matron or a senior nursing officer or something. I was in America in a shop. He called me. He said, Mommy, I have qualified.
Wow.
I was screaming. Till date, anytime I get to America and I enter that shop, they ask me, how is your son? Today, Justice Ochery is a medical doctor. Not only medical doctor, his district, what's the name? Somewhere in the north.
He's one of the
Upper
only
West.
in the whole region.
The whole region. He's the only medical doctor.
And he's actually performing some surgeries there as well.
Performing surgeries. He's the only one that performs surgery. On my birthday on 23rd, my worship night, Dr. Justice was there. And she said, Mommy, you've never been to medical school. You've never sat in a medical class. You never read the books I read. But any surgery I perform, I want you to know that you are part of the surgery. My darling, you are listening to me. If you do good, you raise an orphan, you raise a poor boy, you raise a poor girl, you are able to encourage a student in your class, somebody who wasn't intelligent, you were able to give the person extra tuition. My darling, whatever the person becomes tomorrow, you were part. You've never been to an engineering school, but I want you to know that if you are able to raise an engineer, and I'm talking about raising somebody who is not your biological child, my darling, you would have been an engineer yourself. If you are able to raise your teacher, you might not have gone to teacher training, but you would have been a teacher yourself. If you're able to raise a nurse, you were a nurse yourself. There are a lot that I haven't done. I haven't gone to nursing school. I haven't gone to teacher training. I haven't gone to engineering school. But I have raised people like that. And Mama Roslyn, Mommy, Auntie Roslyn, Miss Soa, on behalf of all the children you have raised, we say a big thank you.
Thank you, Mommy.
Mother Ghana salutes you.
Thank
I want you to say something to any teacher who is listening to you, any house mistress, any house master, any headmistress, any headmaster that is listening to you, that they have a future in a child. And if there's anything anybody wants to say in closing.
I would want to say that our job as teachers, basically, we are like doctors, we are like pastors. We kill, but it's a silent killer.
I like that.
We kill. Because if you tamper with someone's future, you've killed the person. The doctors will just inject you pain kind, the person is dead. But for hours, it will take a long time and the person will suffer throughout his or her life and cannot find any fitting thing, cannot do anything to himself. So if we see the job that we are doing as a calling and accept the children that are given to us or under our care as ours, irrespective of any other factor, but we focus on training them and seeing the future in them, I'm sure we will be able to make Mother Ghana happy in future. And we shouldn't look at the reward. I always tell my teachers that don't look at what you get now. Look at what will happen. It should be a future thing and continuous. If you want to get something now, it will be today and forever. You never get anything. But forget about the monetary aspect. It is very necessary. But if it's not coming, don't use that as a yardstick in executing your work. Let's just do it as disciples of God. We are doing it unto God and not unto man. And the blessings will follow. Thank you.
God bless you. Is there anybody that wants to say anything in closing before I end up? You've said everything. So viewers, you've heard it all. The man of God that came from America, Pastor Joe Centenario, mentioned something. He said, you can raise children through so many means. In your church, you can raise children through the children's department. You can raise children through the teen service. As a teacher, you can raise a child. Stop crying because God hasn't given you a child. Stop crying because God hasn't given you your own biological children. Yes, if God blesses Miss Rosalind Soa with her own biological children, we'll say thank you to Jehovah. Which I believe it is possible he will do it. But once we wait, she's raised so many daughters. She's raised sons, and she continues to raise them. Tomorrow, when she needs help, these ones that she's raised will be there for them. We are talking about parenthood. We are talking about raising children. Raise a child who will remember you tomorrow. God bless you, and I love each one of you. But before we close the curtain, I want to say a very big thank you to Auntie Rosalind, Mommy, Mama, Miss Soa, house mistress, headmistress, everything in one. God bless you.
Thank you
to
very
all
much.
the old students of Infanseman Moga, Infanseman SHS or Infanseman girls who are here, I want to say a very big thank you to all of you. You've turned out well, and I say congratulations. Whatever Miss Soa did to you, anybody under you do the same thing. And you too tomorrow, others will sit down where you are sitting to compliment you and say good things about you. God bless you. I wish you well. in everything you do. And thank you for coming.
Thank you.
My co-host,
Yes, mommy.
thank you and God bless you.
God bless you too so much.
On behalf of my team, Family Life, Powerline TV, we say have a good night and God bless you. See you same time, same day next week. Bye.